the speaker. Yeah, my niece is hanging with the beater. If you ever find a better keeper, 37 cameras for the sneakers. Going out like Oscar Benny. Hello. Welcome back. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to WWTA Gaming. Hey, thank you for returning for another episode. So check it out. I was trying to elaborate my thoughts and my ideas on the game Hogwarts Legacy, as well as even I started to allude to Star Wars. Basically, I'm talking about what I've seen coming out of Rockstar Games, and so Rockstar has two titles. They have the Grand Theft Auto series, and then they have the Red Dead Redemption series that I'm aware of. And so I play both of the online versions of these games. And so all the thoughts and ideas that I have stem from me playing those two games. So I just wanted to elaborate a little bit more on what I'm really trying to say in regards to RPG games that I see, like, wow, what would happen if Rockstar had created these games. Okay, let's go on about this. So I want to first, before I get any further than that, I want to say side note. So I was talking about what I thought was a remote gameplay of me doing a mission where my van was taken control of. I'm not sure if that's actually what that was. I was talking with another player, and they said it sounds like a common glitch. I don't know if that's so, but I'll explain this one more time. If anybody else has thoughts and ideas, please get in the comments and help us all understand, especially me, because what happened is, every time I do this MC mission to restock my bar with the alcoholic beverages so that I can keep money flowing in, because you get like $20,000 every so often from people just hanging out at the little bar at your little motorcycle club. To me, that's extra money. I want it, so I will keep doing those restock missions. And every time I do the restock mission, what would happen was, every time I get in that van and I start to take off, my van would act like it slammed on the brakes. I would lose control. It would flip over, roll over, spin around in circles like it's retarded. So another person that plays the game explained to me it sounds like a common glitch. If it is a glitch, I made the mistake of saying that I thought it was a remote gameplay. I don't know, but if anybody's aware of this as a glitch, please get in the comments below to help us all understand. Because I don't know, I think it's one way, somebody else is telling me they think it's another way, so I don't know. And also in Red Dead Redemption, I explained that I was on my horse and I was going down a path, and my horse came to a complete stop, and then a red dot popped up on my screen, like a player, like an enemy AI, and then of course it disappeared, and then out of nowhere it pops up this cougar, like a bobcat or something, or a panther, or whatever it was, runs right over to me, makes one attack and kills me. And then it does if somebody else kills you in the game, not an AI, but like if another player kills you in Red Dead Redemption, it'll show you that particular screen, like so and so killed by so and so. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I still think that was a remote hack. I'm not sure, but that's what happened. I just want to get that information out there, because if anybody has any thoughts or ideas on that, please share in the comments, because I would really like to know. I would like to know. Tell me your thoughts on that. Now, let's move along. Let's get back to what I was trying to talk about the other day, which was discussing how I think role-playing games could actually be done. I was talking about Hogwarts, and I was talking about Star Wars, and I really just want to talk about the bigger picture here. So when you play role-playing games, it tends to be quests and side quests. It's really not much else going on, and it becomes like boring, cookie cutter boring, over and over the same thing. And so when we talk about multiplayer role-playing games, you have stuff like PvP, and sometimes in a lot of these games they'll pop up like world events, but they're kind of stale. And so I've played Guild Wars, and so even they have world boss events that pop up, and you'll see like 20, 30, 40, 50 people pop up, coming through a portal or something, and they'll pop up on right where you are, and they'll start running through, and they'll go stack an area where a boss is about to appear, and then you'll see the boss appear, and then boom, they'll attack the boss, kill him, they'll loot, and they'll go on their way. It's like a train coming through. It's over and over and over. This is same repetitive. You know what I'm saying? So when I talk about what I have been learning from Rockstar playing their games, I really mean it. Like I do think that these game developers need to really get Red Dead Redemption Online or Grand Theft Auto Online in their hands and start playing that game to see why it's full and still can use more because I mean, all right, I have not scratched the surface and I because I can't. Okay, I can't do anything but the little bit I'm doing now. All right, I wanted to get back into the mission gameplay, but at the same token, I opened up a club. And when I opened up the club, it led to me having to do X, Y, and Z. So I've got a club, I've got the MC biker club, I've got a counterfeit money business, I have an office, the Maze Banking building. I got an office in that building. I have a warehouse for specialty cargo. What else do I have? I have the arena warfare storage and mechanic shop. So all that's keeping me busy, right? Like I'm busy just on the growing money thing, right? So I'm learning that I have to go into the club. I have to keep up with the guy Marvin or whoever it is who tells me what's going on inside the club. Every now and then I'll increase my club charge cover charge by $5. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's like an hour's time. I think I made like 100,000. 100,000. I was like, wow, this is pretty impressive. So I'm still learning more about that. So I'm doing those missions that got to be done. I'm still trying to grow the businesses that happen inside the club at the bottom of the building, they say. Also, I haven't even got to the different missions that you can do just from owning the club, right? So I haven't even crossed into that world yet because I mean, oh my God, that stuff in itself requires for you MMORPG players, we commonly know this as guild participation, right? So you get big guilds like, come on, Guild Wars 2, all right, World of Warcraft, come on, where you at? You guys have guilds, and your guilds come together on certain days, and you guys will do raids, right? You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing over and over again. Now imagine your guild grows this massive organization because it's what they're called in Grand Theft Auto. They're called organizations. So imagine your guild comes together and you've got multiple organizations or guilds in Grand Theft Auto where you guys have amassed great wealth and I don't mean through glitching and glitches because a lot of the younger crowd and bruh, I'm gonna tell you, like the younger crowd when it comes to GTA, they're really about the cheating, the skipping over, the shortcuts, the glitches, the god mode, the repetitive griefing. Now I know you know it's really the young crowd that's doing that stuff. And so of course, you can do invite only lobbies or you can do a crew lobby and you can operate that way. So those things exist. But the younger crowd, they don't tend to be too wrapped up in stuff like that. Now, um, I know for a guild from MMORPGs, those things are building your guild, right? So that's a good thing there. But for like World of Warcraft, you guys want to do raids. So the thing with that is GTA would have to um, bring in more content as far as like bigger heists or stuff like that that will require more aspects, that will require like 10, 12, 15, 20 different things that have to be done, which will require your guild or your organization to branch off and do multiple things. And those could be like a new type of super duper heist. But that's a whole nother conversation. I don't even want to get into that side. I just really want to talk about how um, role playing games and MMORPGs, multiple massive multiplayer online role playing games, could really take a good look at what Rockstar's done. So let's talk about Hogwarts Legacy, right? So again, I'm checking it out, and it's very interesting. But again, it's the solo thing, right? And so I know you do have people that love solo gaming, but come on, let's be real. We don't want to be limited to just a game and then it's over after I complete the game. Like where's the replayability? So it's like there is a storyline, right? But we always want more. And I was saying that creating an online a part that happens, aside the actual story, opens up the door. And so if you look at what Rockstar Games does, just go look at GTA Online. Go ask YouTube what different events or game events are in GTA Online, and you're going to see a whole long list of things that are always going on, events that you can always jump in. So, and Grand Theft Auto Online has received a lot of new fresh faces, is what I'm reading about because I am one of those new fresh faces. And it's like, okay, so everybody must be just finding out, like maybe just finding out, like, oh, I didn't know all this was in the game. Like, when did this happen? And of course, I'm late. I've had young people tell me, dude, you're like 8, 9, 10 years old. Where you been, bro? And I'm like, well, funny conversation. I asked a group of young people. I said, okay, since I'm so late to the party, well, that's cool. Why don't you guys tell me what y'all do in the game? And then they started telling me about the things they did in the game, and it's like a lot of them didn't really play the game. A lot of them more or less did the Caprico heist, whatever it's called. I haven't even done that yet. That's not even on my agenda. It's so much other stuff to do that hasn't even made it to my table, my desk that I'm going to work on yet. That's later down the road. I'm not worried about that. But I was like, oh, we just played the Caprico heist, and they kept playing it over and over and over because I guess in those videos, the best way to make money, the best way to make, and then people kept doing that just to make money, right? So that means you didn't even play the game. And then some people might have started some clubs or something, and then they had the whole griefing thing where they couldn't play the game because they were being griefed, and then it eventually caused them to do the invite only lobbies. I don't know how all that panned out. I was not playing the game. I'm just hearing from people firsthand that played the game this whole period, telling me that I'm late to the party, and yes, I'm late to the party. So, anyways, apparently most people weren't even really playing the breadth of the game. Like they weren't. They were just little tidbit stuff. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the PvP content. Like, so they weren't even really playing the game. But with that being said, let's move along. So when you look at these role playing games, in my opinion, when you look at these role playing games, it's like, well, check this out. What if you did say, okay, let's look at Red Dead Redemption, right? If you look at Red Dead Redemption and you look at the scenery, okay, that's somewhat close to something like Hogwarts. Now, you imagine you're in Red Dead Redemption, but imagine now you're using the Hogwarts characters and all that stuff, gameplay, the wands, the magic, the broomsticks, and all that stuff, right? Now you imagine everything that you can do now in Red Dead Redemption. So of course you can take on jobs where you run businesses. You can what you call it, bootleg alcohol, moonshine. You've got constant jobs where you can deliver mail for the postal service. You can do trading or stuff like that, like it's like capturing animals and trading, and so you got all these different things that you can do for a living outside of you going to play missions over and over again while you wait for new content to be released. You know what I'm saying? You've got the storylines that you can queue and play with multiplayers, which is the cool thing because you get to now look the way you want to look and play how you want to play with a group, and you get to see the different varieties and faces of players in the game. Who really likes a single player game? Like, seriously, let's think about this. You play the game one time, then you get bored of the game because you beat it, and then you're done with it, and it's just a game that's gone. You paid for it, and it's gone. You see what I'm saying? Replayability is what it's all about, and that's why most people, most of the older crowd, are into MMORPGs because they're constantly being updated with more content and story and everything else, and they constantly grow. They're evolving or living game titles. So right now, Hogwarts doesn't appear to be a living game title. All right, so I just want to try to elaborate a little bit more on that. And what I was really trying to say is that just look at Red Dead Redemption Online and kind of apply that concept to Hogwarts. Now, also I start talking about Star Wars, and I'm like, okay, so let's look at Star Wars from the Rockstar perspective, is how I would look at it, and let's look at a major city. And then that's where everything takes place. Okay, so I mean, they could pick anywhere, right? And then just boom, you have all. So if you ever played Star Wars SWTOR, oh my goodness, the MMORPG Star Wars game. Probably not a lot of you have played it. It's a very old title. It's still a good title. It's just old. And so, of course, because it's an old title, it just doesn't look that great, and it doesn't even really play that well because of the designing when building it, right? So that game exists, and you get to create all types of playable races, playable, yes, right, and then playable uh, types, like for instance, a gunner, like Boba Fett, a smuggler, like what's this other guy? I can't think of it. A Sith Lord, a Jedi. So like it's a list of these different characters you get to pick and then go through the storyline, right? Yeah, da 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 da. All right. All right, everybody knows Star Wars, right? If you know Star Wars, you know all the different types of characters in that series of movies and so on and so forth. So you know that. Now, if you've ever played the game, if you haven't, look it up. SWTOR, I believe, SWTOR, Star Wars Online, something. I can't remember the exact title. It eludes me at this moment. So, anyways, you can go all over the different worlds and planets and yada yada yada. And they have the one city you can go in. You got missions throughout the whole city, and you're running around. Da 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 da. All right, it's an old cheesy looking game, but look past that. So here we are in 2023. We already know what Rockstar can do. I'm like, could we see? And we know that all these companies are working on Star Wars titles that are going to probably be single player. Supposedly, they're working on one that's going to be a multiplayer action game, whatever. I don't know. There's not much details on it right now, so it's kind of like, ugh, don't know anything about it. But let's just imagine now that we looked at Star Wars from the perspective of Rockstar, like a GTA game. Now you have all these different jobs. You got tons of story that you can constantly add to the game over a period of time and make it a living game. You can always add story. It's not a big rush. You just do a quick main story just to get us started. Then we get into the online side, in which case we'll be doing businesses and jobs and growing money. You know what I'm saying? We can work for either side. You know what I'm saying? We can work for the Sith Lords, the dark side, or we can work for the other side. I don't know. It can go either way. So if you looked at it from that perspective, and let me help hone this in. Let's think about Cyberpunk 2077. Let's scope that actual theme of background theme of the world, that theme world, right? Let's bring in that theme world and let's third person that game. Let's give it the whole open world concept, open map concept with jobs and missions and everything else like GTA Online. And boom, you got it. Even Cyberpunk 2077 should have gone that way. It should have gone that way. Switching to a third person, not only do I get to do these jobs and missions, but I get to create businesses and organizations of my own that I can online play with my friends, and they can be a part of my organization, and we can do this and we can do that, and we can replay all these game missions together. Ain't nobody doing that. Rockstar's doing that. And I'm confused. Like, how is it that Rockstar is the only development team that thinks like this? You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to close it out because I'm getting long-winded. Obviously y'all going to hear me talk about this a lot. I'd like to get on the game, and I do it now with friends and family, and get them tied to a crew, and then go work different things together as an organization, right? Growing money, getting the vehicles, upgrading things, running this errand, running that errand to make the organization grow, and then coming together and doing particular things and communicating back and forth about this stuff. It's like that is a lot of stuff spinning in my head. And I think it's really cool because now you're getting people to think with you to figure out the best way to resolve things and grow and keep the operation and organization going. If you notice that, you need an organization for real, when you're doing your MC missions and stuff like that. Not just MC missions, but even, other parts of the organization. Sometimes, like for instance, let's say you're doing a cargo run, but you got two vehicles and or three vehicles, but there's only one you. It'd be so much better if you had people in your organization say, look, man, I'll take that run with you, and then they'll meet you up, say, all right, let's go here and we're gonna take this run, and then boom, y'all split off, and you get in a group and then you split off, and then boom, you're getting it done because everybody on the map is going to see what the agenda is that's in the crew. That I understand. I could be wrong, but that's my understanding. So, anyways, could you imagine that's the way you play your MMORPG games? Just imagine if you're playing World of Warcraft, that's how things were operating. The people in your guild could see that you were working on a big mission of some sort, and they jumped in and flew to so and so because it showed that there was something that needed to be picked up over there. I mean, Grand Theft Auto is pretty methodical in my opinion. Like like for instance, because you have the apartment or whatever it is, it'll line up stuff for the heist or whatnot. Like all of a sudden something blue will pop up that's a part of a heist, and it'll be a blue dot on the screen, and you're like, what is that? And you go over there and check, and you go loot something, and then it'll tell you that, bling, this is a part of so and so, you need this for the da da da. So these things will constantly be happening while everything else is going on, and so it's like they really thought it out. I don't see that with MMORPGs. I don't play World of Warcraft anymore because it's the same repetitive over and over type thing. There's nothing ever new with it, so it's just like, yeah. So for those people to play World of Warcraft, I would implore that you pick up a copy of Grand Theft Auto online, Grand Theft Auto 5. I would implore that you pick up a copy of that and a copy of Red Dead Redemption as well, and put it in your collection and start messing around with it with your friends. Get a guild started. Please get a guild started. Mess around with your friends, and then right, and whatever, man. So there's a lot of things to come out of that. Especially if you play Guild Wars 2, please get you a copy of Grand Theft Auto Online and Red Dead Redemption. Now, I'm not talking about doing these because most of you guys are too old to be running around doing kiddie stuff like shooting people at random. Like, nobody's doing that. I mean, the kiddies are doing that because that's the level of fun that they have. That's how they see fun. But when we get older, we don't see things like that. Obviously, our minds change, and we evolve. We grow past the immature little turds that we were, doing crazy things that we thought was fun at the time because it was fun at the time. Don't misunderstand me. We've all been young and we had fun doing dumb stuff, and we were just, it is what it is. So, anyways, moving along from that, I just want to share my thoughts on that because I do think at this point I haven't seen anybody do what Rockstar Games has done. I don't even want to talk about my expectations for Grand Theft Auto 6. That's not even on my chart right now. I'm still at the beginning stages of what I'm doing in Grand Theft Auto 5 online. Like I'm still there. All right. So, anyways, if you got any comments, thoughts, or ideas, please share them down below. I just wanted to, again, try to express my thoughts the best way I can to help you all understand what I'm really trying to say. And I greatly appreciate you for hanging out and just listening, and I do want you to share your thoughts. But anyways, I'm going to close it there. I'll catch you all in the next episode.